Hello, my good people. Welcome back. I go by the name Farm with Maxwell. This is our YouTube channel name. Remember, I've just traveled all the way from Isibania village to Wasingishu County so that I can train our audience about handling these animals. So today we are going to talk about a crucial thing. Yeah, crucial thing that you usually hear that you can hear maybe actually this crucial thing I'm talking about how to boost milk production by steaming up. Yeah, I'll tell you what is steaming up, and sometimes you can hear that an animal has just crashed or collapsed when before it is giving birth, and I'll tell you the reason where I'll be diving into this and sometimes you can hear something like low production. Yeah, I'll tell us what it entails by the low production so that we can get to learn about something of sort. So remember, I just started my journey. Here's where I got the knowledge about animals. I was working here as a shamba boy where I was doing every other job about feeding animals, milking, making formulation for these animals. So I was just here daily. So that means I worked here for around 5 years, but I just resigned so that I can do content creation. And now I'm just privileged to be back to this farm so that I can train us something about these animals so that we can get learned and to know how to do what we call cattle farming. So if you are new to this YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe, like, comment, turn on the notification bar so that you can be notified of any video that I post concerning these animals. So I'll start by showing you the animals that are here. The animals that are here, you can see the way that udder is very much conformed. Another animal is here, very much conformed. Another animal is there, very much conformed. Another one is there and there down. Yeah, those animals are more much conformed, and that means they have been done what we call proper steaming. So what is steaming up? Yeah, so steaming up actually is I can explain it with a feed or bag, or actually I can just tell you it means gradual increasing energy and protein in dry cow's diet 3 to 4 weeks before calving. So that means around a month to calving. So it prepares a body for high production and prevent metabolic disasters. Yeah, that is just a slight definition about and I'm going to tell us how we can do that steaming up so that we can achieve the way you have seen these udders are. Yeah, these udders are, you can see the way these udders are. So one of the things that you have to do is actually, I'll start by asking myself a certain question. Why steaming up to boost milk production? This is the reason. Yeah, here's why you should steam up, which is equals to game changer for milk yield. So one of the things for the reason, it means it fuels the udder. What do I mean by fueling the udder? So that means more nutrients is equals to more milk producing cells developing before lactating starts. Yeah? So when this animal, you have just done what we call steaming up, it boosts for the more nutrients, which produces more milk producing cells. That's why you can see this animal the way the udder is. This is a heifer, and the udder is very big. You can't imagine this is a heifer. It has never calved. A heifer is an animal that has never calved, but this udder is very appreciable. So that means it has been done what we call a proper steaming. Another thing, it is to prevent ketosis. Yeah. So when I'm talking about ketosis, is the negative energy to the animal. Remember, we have ketosis, then we have what we call milk fever. Ketosis is the negative energy balance where we have the ketone bodies. Then and how to know ketosis, you can just hear some smell from the urine, and maybe when you go next to the mouth of this animal, you'll hear some smell. Yeah, some smells like it wants to be like alcoholic. Yeah? So that's how you can identify ketosis. Yeah. And milk fever, you can see it is now positive energy balance, where you can see an animal dying, recumbent, not waking up. That's all about this. And which means actually for ketosis, yeah, it means this is without extra energy. She burns its fat, get ketosis, and develop what actually drops milk production. Yeah. Another thing that I can talk is about beta colostrum. Yeah. Remember, colostrum is for feeding this calf vigorously. So which means high actually, which means high quality feed, which is equals to thicker colostrum, which adds antibodies rich colostrum for healthier calves. Yeah, animals very well. So that means you achieve the thicker colostrum and for a longer duration. Sometimes you can just milk an animal 2 days, then colostrum is getting finished, which shouldn't be the case. Yeah, the colostrum should be like 1 week. Yeah? Once you do what we call a good steaming up, you get enough colostrum for your animal that can sustain your calf for a longer duration. Remember, colostrum has antibodies inside, so that means it helps to build the immunity of the calves when it is very young. So that means apart from the maternal immunity, yeah? So that means you get a lot of immunity from. Another thing is about smoother transition. Where when I'm talking about smoother transition, yeah, I'm talking about which is called steaming up versus underfed cow. So no energy crash, which is equals to faster peak milk yield after calving. Yeah. So there are some common mistakes that people usually do while steaming up. Yeah. What people should avoid. Yeah. So that means this is what actually somebody should not mess with what I'm going to tell us. Yeah, avoid this mistake. Yeah, starting too late, which means you wait until calving. Yeah, too late starts at actually too late. Yeah? That means start at early enough. Some people start with at around a month old. Yeah, which is very good prior. Which is very good. You can do a very good steaming up. Some people do what we call overfeeding grains suddenly. Remember, this can cause acidosis, which gradually increases on. Let's tell you what is acidosis. Yeah, when I'm talking about acidosis is when you have grain overload. Yeah, so when I'm talking about steaming up, somebody will just go take a sack of maybe concentrate. You bring to your animal, thinking that you are now doing what we call steaming up. You will end up losing that animal because the animal will be having something that we call acidosis, that is overload of grains to the rumen. So that means it can even bloat. And remember, when the acidosis is inside the stomach, you get that it will harm the lining of the rumen. Yeah? When it harms the lining of the rumen, it means that the animal can even die because the rumen will be impaired. Once the rumen is impaired, it can die. So that's the reason why you should avoid too much of concentrate, because I said that you have to give it grain, because people say that this thing is this way. I think ignoring minerals. Never ignore minerals. Calcium and magnesium prevents milk fever. So you have to give them enough minerals, and when you give them enough minerals, there is something that we call the milk fever that I spoke about, where I told you that milk fever is the positive energy. Yeah. So that means you have to rectify about milk fever where the animal is recumbent. Recumbent is just saying that the animal is down. Yeah. So to prevent this animal going down, give it enough calcium, and you have to be very conscious. Yeah. Remember, I'm talking about calcium, giving it. Some people will go give enough calcium, even mixing a lot of calcium to the diet. Remember, I usually tell people to give calcium. These animals should be leaking these minerals by their own. Don't go take a lot of calcium, then you just pour in their feed, the mixing ratio for the day, then you just feed them. Yeah, especially for the DCP. I usually tell you, yeah, too much calcium is very dangerous. Yeah, because of these. We have the calcium reserves. So when there is too much of calcium, that means these reserves will not get enough time so that the body can mobilize these calcium from the muscle and the bone so that it can work the intended job. Another thing is about calcium, about phosphorus. Too much of phosphorus blocks these calcium from actually transmitting to the body. I'm just trying to use a layman's language so that a lot of individuals can know what I'm talking about. So too much phosphorus, very dangerous. Too much calcium, very dangerous. Just put these animals to leak this calcium by themselves, because they know the time when the body requires this calcium so that to feed on. So never force an animal with calcium so that you prevent this thing that way. Yeah? Another thing that I'm going to talk about is how to steam up right. Yeah. So how do you steam up? Yeah. now I'm going to tell us on how to do the right steaming, where I usually start by telling you the exact time, yeah, and I'm just going to demonstrate what we call my winning steaming up routine that I usually encourage people, yeah. Week 1 to 2 before calving, yeah, add around 1 to 2 kgs of grains per day plus high quality forage, yeah. I have videos that I've just shown you what are forages, so just watch the entire video so that you can get to know what are forages. Then you translate the forages to here. Then week 3 to 4, increase 3 to 4 kg grains plus protein supplements. That means something like soya beans and cotton seed cake. Just make sure those are just protein, yeah. Make sure you increase them. Then you do what we call mineral boost, yeah, where you always provide calcium, phosphorus, magnesium to prevent milk fever. And I went ahead and told you how, apart from these minerals preventing milk fever, they can enhance milk fever. So just I hope people are listening when I was explaining that, yeah. Another things about hydration and space, yeah. Fresh water. When I'm talking about water, it should be fresh, yeah. This fresh water should always, and reduce competition. Steaming up cows need space, yeah. So that means like this animal, you can see the way it is feeding, yeah. It does not need competition while we are doing this steaming up. So that means this animal should be left alone, like you can see this, or the way we have just put 2 animals here, but we know this you can see the body condition of this one and this one are almost the weight is the same. This one is short, block in shape. This one is tall, somehow block in shape, but they're almost of the same actually weight, yeah. So I actually tell farmers to do what we call steam your animals at the right time, and you will see more milk, healthier cows, and fewer. You are steaming very well, you will realize that even the vet bills, yeah, will decrease. Another thing that you can add to your formulation when you're steaming up, add what we call adder booster. We have a lot of adder boosters in the market. The adder concentrate, yeah, we call them the dairy concentrate. And then you can do what we call advanced dairy concentrate, like the Cooper Cooler. You can add that depending on the requirement portion that people usually talk about. When you do that, you will be good to go. You will achieve a lot of things that you wanted, yeah, and the milk production will actually increase, yeah. The reason why you should include those what I'm calling the Cooper Cooler and those proteins, yeah, is because these are the bypass protein. They go directly to the udder so that they can do the function that they were supposed to do to the udder. So that's enough for today. We are just learning slowly by slowly, so that we can, at the end of the day, we can learn something. That's enough. So I'll just tell people to comment, subscribe, like this video, so that we can get learned here. Remember, when you like, you comment, at least it motivates people. It motivates me as an individual, because that means my audience keep on they keep on actually encouraging me, because once I see a comment, I'll respond, yeah. When I see maybe somebody has commented negatively, I'll adjust. Then at least even you can add other points, because you know, not that I'm perfect, yeah, I'm trying where I can so that we can get learned. That's enough for today. Goodbye till we meet again. Goodbye.